Hey, this is Sherrita C W Delacruz, and this is the Figures of Speech Talkcast, powered by Blast Music 24/7 and Esoterica Entertainment. We welcome you in today. Today, we have the pleasure of having, there's so many things I could say about this young man. He was named to the Pro Bowl in 2020. He has played for the Baltimore Ravens. He has played for the New York Giants, but you might not know that he actually is a hip hop producer and he has released new music this month. I'd like to present Darren Waller.
And thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving us a little bit of your time today. I'm excited because I listen to underground music and you know delve into places others may not for great music. I came across your music. People might not know that you do music. How
Right.
long have you been a producer?
I've been a producer for this October will be 6 years. I remember the day when I started. I was in my aunt's basement. That was the first year I got reinstated back into the league from my suspension. And I was in their basement, and I had a lot of time to myself, just trying to figure out
Yeah.
what I wanted to do with my days when I got off. I used to just get high or go have some drinks, and I was like, I'm just about to start. I started making beats because I started recording music as an artist 2 years before that, but I never really
Mhm.
tried actually producing or trying to shape a record. And I remember it was October, and I was like, you know what, I'm just about to start and figure it out and see where this goes.
Cool. So what do you use? Were you using a console like the MPC or the machine, or did you start with Fruity Loops or Arcade? How did you start with that?
Yeah, I'm Fruity Loops, FL Studio from the start. Some of my big homies that produced. I was just over their
Yeah.
shoulder on FL Studio, like, what is that? What does that do? What is this? What is that? And kind of learned just by watching and just taking information for myself. And it's been a fun journey. It's one of my favorite things to do still in this world.
That's wonderful. I actually started out making beats on Fruity Loops, so I know what challenges it presents. But when you're actually able to overcome those challenges and get what you need from it and fluidly make music, it's really a blast. It really is.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, you released new music last week. Um, I want to say I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you.
proud of you for I'm proud of you for continuing to press forward in the thing that brings you joy, even in adversity. Um, you had a project in 2023 called Walking Miracle, right?
hmm
And then what are the three preceding that?
So I had Better Call Wall was 2017, based off the name
Hmm.
of the show Better Call Saul, and I had Wall Street, which was 2019, right around my first year of being with the Raiders, and then
Hmm.
Delusions of Clarity in 2021. So I, trying to be consistent with that, but yeah, now I want to drop more consistently. I don't feel like I want to wait 2 years in between. I feel like I was kind of trying to play by some rules, but it's like ain't no rules in this thing for real.
Listen, there are no rules, and the tracks that you have on the new project. Um, Tell us the name of your new project. Tell us the background with the title and what you're trying to uh, express in this particular project.
Yeah, so it's a 2-song project. So technically an EP. It's called Mind Games: It's All in Your Head, and with the
Hmm.
first song being called Mind Games, and the second song being All in Your Head. So Mind Games is one where it's like I feel like everybody can relate to. Either you're playing mind games with the opposite sex, or the opposite sex is playing mind games with you, but at the same time, you don't want to lose focus with what you're trying to do in your own life. Mix all that with
Hmm.
trying to do some fly shit, and that's what that first record is. And then All in Your Head is one that is written by me because I'm an overthinker. I try to plan things out in my head. I get caught tripping about the future or be in the past, and it's like it can psych me out. So it's like realizing that the things that are in my mind that I tend to believe sometimes aren't true, aren't people see me or the way that I actually show up in the world. So that's one that'll kind of, get you up out of your head and get you into the present moment and just feeling good about yourself.
That's right. That's right. I want to go ahead and just hop to something real quick. Faith Test is actually one of my favorites. Could you give us some background before we play Faith Test for you?
Oh yeah, Faith Test, man. That's an idea that came to me in a time where I feel like I was getting to a point in my life where I didn't necessarily love where my life was heading. Like I feel like I had a lot of good things in it. Making a lot of money, had this career. Just like my life always looked like it was great on the surface, but there was always something in me that was like, this doesn't really feel like it's authentically me. And so I was gearing up to kind of make the decisions that I made earlier this year of kind of like retiring and moving on from things in my life, and which took a lot of faith to be able to do that, and faith to face the uncertainty that lies after it that I'm walking through now. So that song was kind of like, preceding those decisions and realizing like I want to take my life back and take control of it and really show up how I want to show up. It's going to take a lot of faith because it's something I've never really done before.
That's right. That sounds so good. That really sounds so great. Let's go ahead and hop to the Faith Test by Darren Waller.
Look at this young king, damn, he got a glow to him. Figured out not to force it cause it's gon' flow to him. He see that fake love and hate is what they gon' show to him. He probably won't get the respect they really owe to him. But when did that really even matter? Logging off them apps cause all he seeing is chatter. Thinking they control him with algorithms and data, but he popping in real life and all they getting is matter. Fix your face, love. Why we don't give but try to take love. Claiming that it's for real but it's really snake love. I don't even wanna fuck, I'm tryna make love. No, I ain't blind to the fate, I'm awake. And the change come when you get sick of your own shit. Niggas missing blessings cause they focused on the wrong shit. Rapping lies, boy, that shit played out like the phone clip. Why you watching them? Go and focus on your own shit, let's go. Beat the vibe, you gon' know when it's fake. They feel the road cause they know it ain't safe. Niggas told me to hold this shit down. Sometimes I'm just tryna hold it in pace. Sometimes I wish I was floating in space, but I gotta stay right here cause I'm chosen this fate. Be praying that it come, but I gotta just wait. Just testing my faith. Journey, you'll take some L's, it's commonplace. Everything got a season, love there's a time and place. Learn whatever I can't control, I'ma dominate. I know exactly who I am, don't need your nomination. Fuck the charts and awards, I'm trying to sharpen my sword and take it further than I started before. Because niggas always moving the goalposts when you kicking. Love your life, you ain't even gotta show folks how you living. Just go be the light, don't miss your moment, it could be the night. And if you stuck in the darkness, I hope you see the light. Cause it ain't too far away, and there's no better place to be than right where you are today. See, I don't know if you've been trapped in the past or worried about what's coming, but know there's nothing that can deny you when you've been summoned. Despite all of your sins and mistakes, we bend never break. For all we need in the end is some fake trust. Beat the vibe, you gon' know when it's fake. They feel the road cause they know it ain't safe. Niggas told me to hold this shit down. Sometimes I'm just tryna hold it in place. Sometimes I wish I was floating in space, but I gotta stay right here cause I'm chosen this fate. Be praying that it come, but I gotta just wait. Just testing my faith.
Man, listen, Oh, that sounds like spoken word in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself a poet?
Ah, man. I don't know. I guess I try to, but I also at the same time don't want to disrespect those that are like really like in that craft and in that space. I did a spoken word track, the first song on the Walking Miracle
Walking
album.
Miracle, yeah.
So it's I feel like I try to just bring that spoken word type of energy to my music, and really just say something when I got the mic, because I feel like a lot of people have mics these days and not really much to say, and I feel like if people are going to give me their ears, I want to make sure I got something to say.
That's right. Have you ever journaled? Did you begin to write at an early age or anything like that, and then you began to focus on hip hop, or how did that creativity start for you with that?
So I never really did any type of writing until it was literally right when I got drafted into the NFL in 2015, and they had us stay in this hotel in Baltimore as rookies because we didn't really have a place yet. I was in that hotel and I had a lot of downtime, and I was like, I remembered in college, like there's a lot of guys they would put like an instrumental on and guys would freestyle. And my mind always moved too fast for me to just freestyle and flow in the moment. But I was like, man, if I wrote some stuff, I feel like I'll be all right. So I had so much time on my hands, and I was like, you know what? I'm about to just start writing. I'm about to just start random beats. And the first 2 years of me making music, I didn't let anybody know I was making music. I was just trying to work on my craft and just keep getting better, which is the same thing I'm still trying to do 9 years later.
Right. Okay. So did you produce any of the tracks on any of your projects?
Yeah, I made 9 of the 13 beats on Walking Miracle, and then I made the beat for Fake Test, and I made the beat.
I knew it. It sounded like you made that.
Yep. And then All in Your Head, one of my most recent songs, I produced that as well.
Wow. So you're being cost effective in your whole process and all of that. And
Trying.
By the way, from one beat maker to another, it sounds really great. It really does.
Thank you.
With the tracks that you didn't produce, who did you enlist help from for those?
Oh yeah, so my usual suspects are my boy Stephen Fowler and my boy Chan, which are the two guys I learned how to make beats from. They were guys that are from my area, went to the same high school as me, and these guys are almost 15 years into making beats. So I've by being around them is where I learned and I was influenced. So those are the guys that I'll still lock in and work with to this day. Another dude by the name of Nick Miles, who I formed a relationship with. And now most recently on my last 2 songs, that 2-pack was my boy J-Rod, who co-produced with me and produced Mind Games. He's a machine, man. He can do it all: engineering, vocals, production. Like that's a real artist right there. So excited to work with him as well.
Right. Okay. Who are some of your favorite influences in beat making and beat production? Who do you identify with?
Oh man, hip hop producer. I put Alchemist in there for sure. Big fan of Hit Boy. I love Cardo. I feel like he's incredibly versatile. So many dudes. Metro. That whole Atlanta. I grew up in Atlanta, so the whole Atlanta trap scene. You got Southside. You got Metro, TM88. All those guys. Like it's just so many, man. So many great producers, and I feel like those are the ones that I would start with.
Have you ever gotten a chance to fall through Patchwork?
Nah, I never have. I always recorded at the studio that was kind of local to where I was at. It's called D3 Studios. It wasn't like a huge one, but it was one that I just formed relationships with people there. But never been.
I toured that studio, but I never ever got a chance to record in it. But it's really nice. So we know that you got the Southern rhythm when it comes to the flows and production. So I would take it that a lot of your influences as far as rappers are concerned would be Southern rappers, or around the country, because you've been around the country. You grew up in Colorado as well, so there's that Western aspect. Who are some of your favorite rappers or rap influences?
So yeah, a great question. My first influences rap wise were from what my dad listened to. My dad's from Queens, New York, so that's a lot of
Oh,
we. My mom used
so
to get
we
mad.
already know what that is.
My
Yeah.
mom used to get mad because we knew the lyrics to "Old Dirty Bastard," and but my dad also loved like Most Def, Gangstar, like so that whole lane, like
Ooh.
Pete Rock, like that whole lane of hip hop is something that influenced me first and foremost, and will always have a love for that style. So I was big into Jay-Z growing up, like that was probably my favorite. But yeah, the South mix as well. My first one influenced me in Ludacris, just his personality on records. And I just thought it was so much fun listening to him make music. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
influences are all over. Like I feel like good music is good music, and I try to tap into everything.
Right. I really love the fact that you have that mix. You kind of sound like how my daughter sounds. My daughter's born the same year as you, and she would say that a lot of her influences are based on my music taste. So she really loves DMX. She really loves Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
Her and her brother, I know they listened to the Old Dirty Bastard album. Because, I mean, people might have thought it was a strange album, but that thing was serious. The
No doubt.
beats, the content, everything, every song, not just the ones that were mainstream. What do you want people to understand? And let me be clear, we don't ever care what people think when we create, because it is our creation, and most of the time it's for us to free our minds or free our hearts from a thing, or to empower ourselves, but we do have to be concerned about the consumer and people listening to our music, because we want people to embrace it, buy it, and become fans. What
Right.
do you want people to get from your music, as far as an artist?
Yeah, I feel like first and foremost, I want people to feel like they have somebody that understands them. I feel like I've been through a lot of life experiences with, addiction. I've been arrested. I've been, kicked off of teams and almost kicked out of schools. And I've had struggle with relationships. I've been through almost every experience. So when people listen to me, they feel like they got somebody that understands them or has been where they've been, because it's so easy to feel alone in this world. But I also want people to walk away feeling, empowered and inspired, like, and with, to be able to think deeper, to be able to, really better themselves. But also at the same time, like, we're meant to enjoy ourselves, to share music and to have fun and to move. So I want people to feel a combination of those things, like empowered, inspired to change, but also to, we're going to have a good time. Because I love listening to music in the car and singing and just sitting out back and vibing to it. So just a mixture of all those things.
Yeah, I dig it. If I may ask, excuse me, what parts of your trials do you want people to understand about you, to grow with you through your art? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that does make sense. I want people to understand the fact that, I've been successful in, my football career and in a lot of ways, and have become, a voice for people that struggle, and people look to me for inspiration. But I've walked through all of those things while still battling the voice of self-doubt and fear. So I would like them to understand and know that just because those voices are there doesn't mean that you still can't leave an impact and still be live a life that you deem is successful, or other people can look at it and be like, man, like, I'm inspired by the way that you move. Even though those voices are there, you can still work through those and do something special while you're here.
That is powerful, because I would consider that to be imposter syndrome. Have you ever heard that term?
Oh yeah.
So like, I have bouts with imposter syndrome myself. I'm a poet, I'm a producer, I'm an artist and a creative, and a lot of times I don't think nobody want to hear what I'm talking about. But at the same time, when I get up on that stage, it's at least one person every once in a while that says that really touched my heart, or that really changed my life. And I think those are the things that really make us feel fulfilled. Aside from, of course, self preservation and self confidence, but reaching people, like you said. Um, do you involve yourself with mentorship or youth groups, or other, I guess, entities that allow people to get hands-on with you?
Yeah,
And when it comes to these things.
yeah, I've been able to. That's something that I've been wanting to expand more in my life. Like I feel like I've had this impact on a grand scale through through the success that I've had, and just like my story intertwined with that, just by being like on a public scale, but just being in that one-on-one, like with another human being environment, is something that I'm stepping into now. Like I'm a sponsor in a 12-step setting. I'm more in therapy now, more consistent than ever. And
Oh, really? That's wonderful.
and so I feel like that next step is getting into a role of like mentorship with younger people, because just off the strength of like, I feel like from a highs and lows standpoint, I've pretty much gone through a lot of things, and that young people can relate to, and that I can just pour into honestly. So that's something I want to step in more to, because I've usually been like an isolative kind of person, and everything that's come with the attention and stuff in my football career, it makes me want to draw back more. But it's like, I know that doesn't serve me, but being involved and being face to face with people and walking alongside them as they grow, it makes me feel more alive and more fulfilled.
Right. Absolutely. Do you find that you're like more, I don't say antisocial, but kind of, to yourself, now that you are building in the ways that you feel like are going to stand strong and stand firm in your life? You feel like you just, want to be to yourself more and create, or do you kind of like, seek outwardly to get uh, fellowship and energy, as they would say, from other people around you?
Yeah, I feel like I'm somewhere in the middle. Like I want to because I'm choosing to go this route and create art, and a lot of people are used to me for one thing. So I'm aware of the noise out there that people have towards my music. So it's like, for me, I got to protect what I love and protect the confidence that I'm building in my music, regardless of what the outcome is or what people may say. So in that regard, I do want to be more into my own, and in creating, because I feel like I'm building a lot of momentum that even if it's just me that's and it's in my mind, like with the things that I'm creating, like I want to be able to protect that, because that's what I feel in my core. But at the same time, I also don't want to be too isolated from people, because that's where I can be in my head, and historically hasn't been a good place for me to be for too long, and
Right. I dig it.
a lot of people help me out and know that regardless of if things work out, or this music thing turns into something incredible, or or I just end up doing it for the love, like it's I'm still loved in the process, and the results and the outcomes aren't indicative of my self-worth. Like those two things are separate, and I feel like people in my life help remind me of that.
Yes. Well, I want to go ahead and stop you right there and let you know that what you're doing is incredible.
Thank you.
Okay. It's already incredible. So go ahead and lock that in. I find that anytime people can actually come up from the ashes and be resilient, and you have such a look of peace on your face, I know in your field that people would expect guys to be super macho and stuff like that, and I can understand why you were in a place of like, I don't want to talk to anybody, I don't want to share anything, I'm just going to stay in my head. I commend you on being a male who desires to be heard and desires to want to give outward expression to things that bother you. And that's going to give people, hell, you got a lot of fans, man. It's going to give people the ability to want to do that for themselves. A lot of times we don't have the self-start kit about that.
Right.
Mary J. Blige is one person that I will say that she kickstarted something inside of me many years ago in regard to the fight for life. Like, My Life was one of the most influential albums in my life because she really was in a bad place. And when I first heard that album, I was in a bad place. But over the years, she began to sing into me.
Yeah.
Just as you are giving, I don't even want to say rapping, because you're not even rapping, man. It's not like anything. I mean, of course, we hear similar things in your art because it's hip hop culture. But even with the which video was it? When you were in the desert. I have to say, I've been going through all of your music. The video that you were in the desert, that sounded like, you remember when Nelly did the It's All in My Head? Back in the day? That gave me that vibe.
Yeah.
But that's also crossover appeal, because that went to like a, not even pop or rock, but maybe like even a country type of vibe. I can just, what genres are you willing to explore with your art? Are you willing to just stick into hip hop and straddling R&B, or what other genres do you want to explore?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, like I listen to all genres. I spend a lot of time listening to like movie scores, classical music, alternative music. There's dance music that I'm a fan of, house music that I'm a fan of. So it's like I wanted to go into all those because like that feeling I get on the inside listening to those and being inspired and just being lit up by those. It's like, why would I put that cap on myself if I feel like a desire to make that kind of music? The only thing that would stop me is the thought of like, oh, what would people want from me? Like, what would people like from me? Like, maybe this may not be received well. And it's like putting those things aside and realizing like, hey man, I don't know how much time I got left on this earth. I want to do what I want to do. And to me, like, music is almost genreless in a way, if you ask me, because I feel like it's just like, there's just good music. Like, music is good, like regardless of what it is, what people try to classify it as. It's like the way that it makes me feel when I hear it. That's all that matters to me. But I'm willing to experiment, man. As I grow more confident and sure in myself, I'm willing to take those things. And like the Who Knew song was one that's like, a lot of men ain't putting out no song like that from that perspective, right. And talking about those kind of things. And I'm like, I'm willing to take it there, and know that hopefully somebody will be able to be inspired in that same way as well.
Cool. To the clarity that you have about what you're doing, I'm just gonna say this real quick. I know that you have felt like you may have made the wrong decision by retiring, but what keeps you focused on your goal to be a producer and an artist? What keeps you focused on that rather than the woulda, coulda, shouldas?
I think it's just the thing that keeps me focused is just the authenticity element. I feel like football for so long, I've done it because I happen to be good at it, and it gave me a sense of security financially and in the eyes of other people that I'm okay, or that I'm good enough because I can entertain them. And it's like, that life hasn't contributed or, added up to me feeling fulfilled. And, I feel like I have these principles for success that I've learned through football, from going from somebody that nobody was really even checking for to being, one of the best in the world at my position. It's like, I can take those principles into anything that I want. What if I apply those things to something that I actually want to do, that actually sets me on fire, just if nobody else ever heard it or saw of it or cared to check it out. So that's what keeps me focused and knowing like, hey, I'm spending my time doing the things that I know for a fact that I want to do,
Right.
regardless of if I reach the same level where people care about my music the way they cared about the way that I played football. So that's what I try to focus on. Like, I feel more alignment with myself than I ever have before. And I'm excited. Even there's nothing certain in the future. I'm gonna just keep walking, putting one foot in front of the other, and just trying to stay in the present moment.
That is beautiful. So you've always been an athlete, and you never really, and pardon me, correct me if I say this in the wrong way, but have you been an athlete most of your life?
Yeah, I started playing tackle football when I was 4 years old, playing basketball when I was 5, and playing baseball as well. I played some tennis for a little bit, so I was always in sports.
So you're really just kind of trying to get out of the stigma, like I can be good at something else, and not for anyone else, but for yourself. You're telling Darren, I can be better than, you know what I mean, than I ever, like speaking to Darren, I can be better than I ever thought I could be in any of the other sports that I played. This is the thing that I really have a passion about, and I want to expound on that passion.
Right, absolutely. And I feel like there's like in this world, there's, people hold, athletes that have been, I guess of my caliber in such a high regard of like, we're so extremely successful and at such a high level. And a lot of people may not reach that level per se in their lives or in their fields. And they may look at me and be like, oh man, he's there. Like, why would he want to shift or give that up? And it's like, I feel like, why would I put a cap on my life and be like, this is the only thing that I can experience, have great fruit come from? Like, why not there be multiple passions? I feel like I have multiple passions. Like, what if I apply effort and intentionality to what I do, regardless of what it is? Like, why not?
Yeah.
Why can't I have a fulfilling life chasing this as well? And a lot of people may not have seen that before or even have that in their mind as something that's possible. And that may be the resistance that I have to walk through. But if it shows somebody else that it's possible, that you can switch to something that you've always felt drawn to or pulled towards, I want to give people that inspiration if it's possible.
Listen, when I tell you our lives are parallel in some ways, like I have been in my respective field in the traditional workforce for many years, and I'm tired of it because I'll say this real quick. Survival mode. Have you ever heard that term?
Oh yeah.
Even as a established, well-paid NFL star, you were in survival mode because you always ran back to the thing that did it for you real quick, whether it was make the money real quick, get the stats real quick. And to actually leave that over here and to come over here, you don't have peace with it anymore over there. You have peace with where you are now. People don't understand that sometimes.
Facts. Getting
out of survival mode. Yep. I'm writing a book right now called Sitting on the Edge of Darkness, Getting Out of Survival Mode. And it's like, from your story on this end of the spectrum to mine to others in between, everyone is just trying to find happiness. Everyone is just trying to find peace.
Yeah.
And I can't say it enough. I commend you for just even jumping out into the deep and trying to figure out what it is that you need for yourself. Anybody that you want to work with, like on any level, as far as music is concerned, of course, anybody that you would like to work with or collaborate with?
I would say Kendrick Lamar first and foremost. Just the depth and intentionality and just the overall character that he brings, I feel like, to every line and every song and every idea is like something that I want to be around and collaborate with in some way. I feel like Jay-Z would be incredible too, just because, like, just having him in my CD player when I'm like 8 years old and walking
That's
around.
for shits and giggles. Let's like let me
Yeah.
fulfill a dream and go ahead and rhyme with Jay-Z on this track, right? Yeah.
For sure. And then I feel like if there's any way for me to collaborate with, I'm a big fan of the band Coldplay. I feel like a lot of their songs touch me. That would be a collaboration that I would love to make happen if possible, man. So I would say those are probably top 3.
Okay. Do you like R&B?
I'm starting to love R&B more and more. You know, I feel like I've in a lot of ways I've been like closed off to love in my heart. Like I feel like I haven't really necessarily been felt lovable most of my life. And like R&B like talks about love at a depth, it talks about relationship at depth, and it's like I want to keep those things at bay so much. But now it's like I'm more welcoming of those things and allowing that type of music to speak to me as well. So in the beginning phases.
Good. What are you listening to introduce you to R&B?
So there's newer guys that I really like. This dude named Odie, who is incredible to me. Another dude as well, Brandon Banks, is a really good artist I like as well. Aaron Ray is somebody I'm a fan of on the R&B side. Daniel Caesar.
Of course.
Yeah, those are some of the ones, and I feel like I need to go back in time. Like, you know, I know my mom listened to a lot of like Jaheim and like a lot of different.
Yeah,
I got some homework to do, and a lot of my homies like R&B. Like my tattoo artist loves like Black, and like, you know, Summer Walker's dope. There's so much stuff there that for me to tap into, and that's what I need to do.
Yeah, you know who I think you would groove with is Sir.
Oh my God, yes, I forgot about him, man.
I was wondering. Because that dude, you would not. It's kind of like, I don't know. I wouldn't say don't look like he would sing that well.
I get what you're saying.
Listen, the dude is amazing. Like my husband put me on to him, and I'm just like nonstop with it. Him, Lucky Day.
Oh my God. Yes.
Brent Fayez.
Mm-hmm.
All the guys that are out. I think R&B is making a resurgence, and it's a good time for you to come into it because these guys sound like they're where you are, trying to not avoid love or anything, but you know, I need to understand it in order to embrace it, and a lot of the lyrics are really along those lines.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And, and it definitely wouldn't hurt to go back to the past, like, you know, our R&B, neo soul, those places. So yeah, Jaheim was one of my favorites too. Your mama's got great taste.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
Oh man. So being that you're doing the work, are you going to be doing any promotional moves as far as like maybe trying to, I don't know, maybe get a spot at Coachella just to do a couple of songs, or, you know, just do some promotional stuff at like City Vineyard. City Vineyard. Those are different little entities around the country, and they have artists come in and do stuff. Are you gonna start doing promotional things, or?
Yeah, I'm open to it. I guess I'm so like just like in the craft, just making music, that those are things that I don't even really know how you like step into, or like go the means of trying to figure out, okay, how do I get on there and get the opportunity to perform some things? So it's something I want to do. Like I've always been about like performing in front of people, like no matter how many it is, like if it's just people that are there and they're just locked in, they're present to you, like I feel like that would just be an incredible feeling and something that I would love to go on a journey with. So to just, if I figure out how to do that, I would love to.
Like instead of 25,000 people sitting here watching you with your helmet and your pads on, you're really sitting on a stage in front of a mic, and you're gonna give them all you got. That's gotta be a thrill.
Yeah, if it's 10 people that are dying to see me, like, and then we can work up from there. Like, I'd be great.
Right. So I don't know. I'm just so excited about your story because I love to see resurgence after, I guess, beauty from ashes. I love it because, being in our heads, like you said, and then having the influence of others around us can put us in a very different place, a place that we don't need to be. How did you find your way out of that with music?
Yeah. So, I mean, for the record, I'm still finding my way. I feel like I'm a lot farther than where I was, but music was one of the first things that helped me find confidence. So I remember, by the time I started allowing people to hear me make music, I was going through a lot with through the league. I was getting suspended from my teams, and I just wasn't somebody that people were, proud to say they know, like they like now, I guess. And when I was suspended from the league was when I really started to dive into music more. And there's kind of like a thing where people are like, if somebody doesn't have a lot going on in their life, oh, he's trying to rap now. Oh, he's trying to make something shake in the music space now. So that was a voice that was in my head. And I remember there, you go to the studio, there's people in there, and it was an opportunity for me to be like, you know what, this is what I want to do. I'm going to do it. Like, fuck it. Like, let's go. And just getting reps in that helped me to just put myself out there. And my life started to change in a way where my character was something that I could, look in the mirror and be proud of and start to develop like some self-respect and things like that. It was just like, it was the perfect catalyst for me to develop this idea of like, you know what, I'm like, I got something to offer. I got something to give. And, I have the right to enjoy my life, and music helped me a lot with that because I wasn't taking very many chances before in my life. I was just trying to do what kept me feeling secure and kept me feeling safe. And doing music ain't safe. You putting yourself out there. So it's
absolutely
it's a lot for me to just grow and stepping further and further away from my need to please people.
Oh, you speak volumes when you say that. Do you feel like you were people pleasing at one point? And I know at one point, now, first of all, I want to say something to go back to what you said, talking about, he's not making it right here. He's going to go into the music space and see if he's going to do his thing. Do they not know that you have different projects? do they not even, before you start talking that smack, they need to do their homework because you're established. In so many ways, you're just continuing a process that you didn't give your full attention to because you were occupied. Right.
Absolutely.
And so, like, do you really feel like you were, if you don't mind me asking, what was the point in time when you started to realize, I don't like football anymore? I want to do what I want to do, and part of that is music. Gaining my own sense of, like you said, self-respect and dignity through the things that matter to Darren. When was that for you?
So the first time I remember thinking like the love of football was dissipating was like at the end of high school, and
Oh my.
and I look back and I'm like, yeah, like I was really at the point where I was like, I don't even know if I want to do this now, but still going on that journey. But I remember
That
it was
long journey,
and it ended up turning to like a lot of success. But like after the most successful year of my career, which was 2020, and it's like people were like, okay, like now it's like almost like Hall of Fame trajectory. I was having thoughts of like, you know what? I kind of feel like my work here is almost done. Like I don't really, and I went into the next year and was like, the first half of that year was like similar pace, like still doing great things. And then I think I got hurt, but it was just like, even before that, I was like, man, like I'm good at it. And I know like I'm getting the high of like people loving me and like I can do no wrong in the type of way, but it wasn't like the love of the game and playing the game. I loved music more at that point, 2020, 2021, but I was just kind of in a way ashamed to say that to people because I didn't want them to be like, what is wrong? Like, what are you thinking? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, And I was just, it's just that fear of not wanting to. But I would say the last 3-4 years, I've wanted to shift. If it was ultimately up to me and I had the courage to do so, I would have done so.
That's a mighty long time, hun, to feel that way. And still, I don't want to say that you were doing the bare minimum, because your 2020 year was amazing. But I will say that, I can understand how you might have been a little bit set off about football, with the injuries and stuff that you had sustained. And I know during those times, and like you even mentioned that year that you had taken off, that you were really, really into the mind state of, what am I going to do different? Because this might not feel like it's working for me.
Yeah.
I totally understand that. So with all that said, when are you going to do an album?
I feel like I'm really close. I already know the title that I want for my album. It's going to be called "I'm Not Even Who I Am Yet."
Ooh.
And so, because there's been a lot of things that people have seen from me, and I guess a lot of people feel like they know who Darren Waller is. Like, because people come up to me all the time. 80% of my human interaction is Darren Waller, the football player. Can I get a picture? You help me with my fantasy league. Like, that's who people think that I am. But like,
right.
I know it's a part. It's done so much for me. It's taught me a lot. It's given me the ability to change my life, and now have the freedom to chase what I want to do with no pressure. But I look back, it'll only be like a blip on the radar as my life continues to go on. So it's just like that knowing of like, hey, I'm still trying to figure out who I am, but I know that this path, this journey with this microphone, with this pen, is going to help me get closer to that. And so I'm just trying to figure out the flow of it, because I have enough songs done that to where to put it out. But yeah, it'll be coming relatively soon. Like, I don't want to continue to drop too much before that, because I really want to share that with people. So expect that coming soon.
Because you've been giving us breadcrumbs. And that's cool. But and that's no pressure. But I just really think that the album is going to set that tone for. I'm just gonna speak freely. I'm not doing this anymore. This is where I'm at. Love me or leave me alone. Yep.
Absolutely.
And to get the freedom from it. So did you have any considerations about anybody that you may want to ask to come along on this album as far as collaborations? I know we spoke about just general collaborations, but the feel or the vibe of the album that you're trying to release would call for certain individuals. Anybody that you would like have on a wish list to be able to get on this album with you?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking wish list, Kendrick Lamar for sure, but artists that I really enjoy, I would love to have is a rapper out of Chicago named Saba. I love him a lot. I would love to have him on the project. There's a rapper named Nick Grant that I really enjoy. I would love to have him on the project. I do have one of my favorite artists, a feature from him already secured. The record's already done. His name's Sayari the Kid. He's from the area where I'm from, like just outside of Atlanta. So I love that song that I have with him. So I would say those are the top people that I'm looking at right now and trying to get some work with. And so I'm looking forward to hopefully having them on board.
Cool. Before we get out of here, we know we can find your music on all DSPs, digital streaming platforms, YouTube. Where can we find you, follow you on social media?
Yeah, you can follow me at Rackwall, RACKK, Wall, WALL on Instagram and TikTok. Same as YouTube. Got a lot of stuff on YouTube, a lot of content, definitely stepping up the content game with the stuff I'm rolling out now. So yeah, we all over those three right there. So come check us out.
Got you. I'm gonna go ahead and slide into our next song. And check out this hit by Darren Waller.
Let's go.
You know, in life, it's hard to love. It's hard to be free. It's hard to give all of your soul and have your heart broken in return, but it's time. Take your time in here. Just take a time out and feel the nights we opened up and we knew how much that you and I were real. How long I gotta climb up this hill. I'm tired and I wanna be still. Imagine if we fell out of tune. Cause fuck, who knew that love could kill? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I thought our love was real. Who knew that love could kill? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Thought our love was real. Who knew that love could kill? Yeah. Take your time and heal. If you take your time, you feel the weight fall off. Fuck what your plans are. Go ahead and call off. Tired of your day job. We can go down that dirt road like some kids. We can go play hard. You laughing your face off. Shit. Slide right down that highway. We can take off. Why you wanna run away? Why can't you just stay? Take your time and heal. Just take a time out and feel the nights we opened up and we knew how much that you and I were real. How long I gotta climb up this hill. I'm tired and I wanna be still. Imagine if we fell out of tune. Cause fuck, who knew that love could kill?
Listen, I will say that visual gave a lot. You know how they say this thing is giving, right?
Yep.
I will say, I think that that's a rebirth. Is that what you were trying to convey?
Wow.
The death of a thing and the rebirth of another thing.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, like relationally, I feel like that song came from a place of there's similar patterns in my relationship throughout my life that, you know, left women feeling hurt and left me feeling hurt ultimately. And in that video, like I'm feeling the pain of everything that's kind of transpired. And it's like you just said, like it's the death of that way of relating for me, that way of loving, that way of being. And now it's like, you know, I'm coming up better from that. I'm coming up healed from that. I'm coming up, you know, just trying to treat myself better, treat other people better. And yeah, like it's a new time. It's a new chapter.
Absolutely. Wearing the white, the water washing up on you. I mean, that's what that gave me.
Yeah.
I have certainly, just like you have, seen all of the things, but I will state as a creative, that was a great effort.
Thank you.
It was a great visual, and it's lots of symbolism in it. But for the people, and I'm just gonna be frank, for the shallow-minded people, they're going to think what they want to think. But if you can actually see inside the man, see inside Darren Waller, you will see more than that. Because people look at us on surface all the time. Right. They look at us surface all the time. She's this, he's this. Do they really even know? Do they bother to ask?
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the bottom line for it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, like what you just said, it's like I have that thought a lot, and I try not to be resentful of people, but it's like I get dang, you retired? Why'd you retire? Or like, what are you gonna do now? Like, or it's like the fantasy stuff, and it's like it's never really like, yo, man, how are you doing? Like, how's life? Like, how
are you doing?
Yeah, it's never really that, and it's like I try not to blame people for that, because you run into somebody and that you've thought so highly of, and it can be overwhelming, and you're just trying to like get something out and have an interaction, which I understand, but at the same time, it's like I don't really get asked how I'm doing except by the people that are really in my life, and so I kind of have to accept that, but that's the way that it is.
That's right. Well, Darren, it has been my pleasure to speak with you, and I'd love for you to hang out for a few moments after we finish up with this. Anything that you would like to share with the people in regard to your upcoming work and everything to follow?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, the music and the content is coming. Mind Games, It's All in Your Head is out now. 2 new songs, visuals for those on the way, content for those on the way. I'm Not Even Who I Am Yet is the title of my album, which will be coming, and I'm excited to share with you guys. There'll be a lot of depth on there, just a lot of just good vibes on there. And so yeah, just keep looking out for us. Darren Waller Foundation, we're going to continue to do a lot of work for people in the Las Vegas community and continuing to expand. So just a lot of things, man. A lot of traveling for me, a lot of creating, a lot of just continuing on this path to who I am. What I may be doing on the day-to-day may look different to a lot of people, but it's still the same human being, and we're still going to try to do things the right way.
That's right. I would like to think that I haven't heard anywhere else the title of your album, so I'd like to think that we received that information straight from the man, Darren Waller, in regard to this forthcoming information. And thank you for sharing that with us here on Blast. Like I said, it's been my pleasure to speak with you and hang out with me a little bit after we get out of here. This is Darren Waller, the producer, the musician, the artist, and the creative. And I am Sherrita C W Delacruz, and this has been the Figures of Speech Talkcast on Blast.